a Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
Oh, baby, it is high noon, and we have it all for you today. The highs and all the lows as our Green Bay Packers lay an enormous egg at Lambeau on Sunday afternoon, capping off a weekend of sports for our local teams and our rooting interests. My name is Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. This is the Mason Crosby Show. And the kicker is here and needed in Green Bay. He is Mason Crosby.
What's up? Yeah, you know, just a little wind. It's November now. I think I've said it many times. Like, November is the toughest month to kick in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I would take December, January at 15, 20 degrees, where you just kind of know what you're getting. That gusty wind was tough. It wreaked havoc on the kickers and on, it looked like the quarterbacks were having trouble with it. I mean, Bryce Young's interception in the end zone, that thing, I think that ball got moved like 4 yards inside to McKinney. So I'm going to say something, and I know everybody's,
if you
like,
spell a 5-letter word for me.
Yeah, you know where I'm headed. You knew right where I was headed. Everybody chill out. They are still 5-2-1. This one stinks. I'm going to say that, and then we are going to dive deep into what the heck happened yesterday. What a weird day. What a weird weekend it was after Halloween. And we've talked about that. Halloween causes some weird things. So relax a little bit. They're still 5-2-1. They're still right in the thick of everything, still leading this division. Lions laid an egg as well. So let's, with that being said, let's dive into what we saw yesterday and what a disaster of a game that ended up being.
Absolutely. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. If you want to give us a call or you want to shoot us a text at that message, who are you most mad at? Where do you want to dump your bucket? What do you want to complain about? We'll break down things the way we saw them, but we also want to hear, I feel like everybody's vitriol is at Matt LaFleur today. If you've got something to get off your chest regarding Matt LaFleur, you go right ahead. 414-677-1250 is the talk and text line. So get it there as well, as the Carolina Panthers come into Green Bay, escape with a 16-13 win in a game where the quarterback threw for 102 yards, but Rico Dowdle ran for 749 yards against. It felt like it, at least. And Mason, I don't know. I don't even know. Do you start 4th and 8? Do you start Jordan Love? Do you start, I don't even know where to start.
Let's start. Yeah. If you want to join the show, jump on. Cause Mitch is like, hey, my Sundays are free. I'm done with this team.
And 5-11
and I'm, obviously 5-11-1. I'm on the more of the relax. They're still in a fine spot. This is the first time since I think I saw 2010 that there are this many two lost teams. There's not a one lost team anymore.
Right. Everyone has 2 losses,
which is wild. So the parity is there. It's going to come down to the wire. This is going to be one of those hold on for the long ride, the journey here. But you can't lose games like that in Lambeau Field on Sunday, at home. There are just so many things we got to unpack about this one. And for me, it's, I got to look at that 4th and 8 decision is one of the big ones in my mind, where it's just like, okay, I get it. The 3rd and 3, and it's like, okay, but you lost 5 yards. You decided to run that play.
You knew at 3rd
kick
and
the
3.
field goal. No, 4th and 8. If it's an incompletion, you go for it. At 4th and 3, I say go all day.
Yeah, and that's
what 4th and 8 didn't make any sense.
Mason, that's exactly what they did. At 3rd and 3, they decided they were going for it on 4th down. Assuming, all right, so even if we don't gain any yards, it's 4th and 3. And it seems like when they panicked, and listen, That's Matt LaFleur's job. And I think Jordan Love did, I think there are issues with his play. I think there are issues with the defense not being able to stop the run. I think there's a lot of blame to go around.
Let's look at the offense.
On LaFleur.
Let's look at the offense. Okay. And then let's look at the end of the day, that's critical situation play calling.
Right. But in those moments, that's LaFleur's job on that 4th and 8 to know that it's not 4th and 3 anymore. Yeah. It's 4th and 8. We got to kick the field goal.
That was wild. Yeah, that was wild in that situation. But, I mean, look at Jordan Love's stats. 26 of 37, 273. He didn't throw a touchdown, that one interception, and should have had another one. That was crazy. The guy didn't catch that. He was only sacked one time. Josh Jacobs had a decent, 87 yards. Romeo Doubs, 91 yards on 7 catches. I mean, if you look at the offensive stats, like, how in the world did they not win this game? Tell me, Tommy.
I have some sound here. Do you want to go? We'll keep it on 4th and 8 right here with Matt LaFleur.
Hindsight's 20/20. I wish we would have taken the points. Didn't do that there. Bad decision. It was a bad play call. I mean, ultimately, we ran the same play that the play before. He went to Rome on the backside, and I saw one guy out there and give credit to. I think it was Morrig out there. Give credit to him. He blew up the play, and we lost 4 yards on the play. So 3rd and 4 went to 4th and 4.
And before I continue, Matt LaFleur.
We thrive on some explosive plays, and when you're not getting them, and you got to, just move the ball down the field consistently. I mean, we've had penalties. We obviously had a fumble on the first drive. We had 3 possessions in the first half: a 9-play drive, a 9-play drive, and a 10-play drive, and we had 6 points.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Carolina
did tough if we can't figure it out and score in the red area, and it's just going to be tough to win football games like that.
Go ahead, Mason.
Yeah. Well, exactly, and it's Carolina. Let's give them credit where it's due. They did exactly what we talked about. This was the way they could stay in this game, we thought, was just if they limited the Packers' possessions, made them work really hard driving the ball to score those points. But how in the world does a Carolina defense that is 24th overall defense keep you out of the end zone, keep you from scoring points, not let you and they had explosive plays. Packers had explosive plays, and then it would just stall out, and the play calling got weird. I want to go to, and again, I said, relax, they're 5-2-1, we're okay, but it's when is LaFleur going to unlock this offense? And I was frustrated with this always, and I know Aaron would get frustrated with it, in those early years where it's why can't we go tempo more? You go tempo, you get 12 men on the field, and you get different things. We get a big play to Romeo Doubs. Why in the world? And then whenever it's 4-minute offense, they needed a touchdown. They were going no huddle and tempo, and they drove right down, scored a touchdown. With the players that are on this offense, with Josh Jacobs, with all that, do not let the defense sub. Don't let them, adjust to what you're lining up and doing. Just pressure. I think it needs to be a fast-paced, high energy, get as many plays as possible type of offense. That's the way I think Jordan Love and this offense would be the most successful.
Here's the problem. There is, as you see some comments in the YouTube chat, there are people that are questioning the play of Jordan Love. They are questioning how this Packers team is as successful. Here's the problem, Mitch. The reason why you don't trust Jordan Love is because Matt LaFleur doesn't trust Jordan Love. Yeah. That is 100% a problem.
When he does on no huddle, they go and they make plays.
I'm not sure. I wonder if the reason he doesn't trust Jordan Love is that Jordan Love just throws the ball to 87.
No.
And at some point, he's got to throw the ball to other people.
He threw it up to Christian Watson on a 51-yard grab.
Targets 4 to Watson, 5 to Jacobs, which are checkdowns, which are half of them aren't even real called plays. 10 to Doubs, and he's forcing the ball to Doubs when he's got other guys open. There was a 3rd and 4 that he tried to jam into Doubs that went incomplete, that Heath is literally standing wide open where he's supposed to be, could just fall forward for the first down.
But
he's
not throwing a normal day.
He's not finding the open guy. And we've talked about this before. This is not the first week that we've said he's force feeding Doubs. 2 weeks ago, he did the exact
So
same
you
thing.
want more control from LaFleur, where it's like
I
just
might.
draw plays that Dobbs
I
doesn't
don't-
even
I
have
don't
a
trust-
chance on?
I don't trust Love to find the open receiver.
Mm.
I don't.
I walked away from this game having much less trust in Matt LaFleur more than I did about Jordan Love
And that
on
could
the
be
same
true.
energy.
You give me Romeo Dobbs 7 for 91 every game. Like I'm
like this
there for it all day.
But I'm not here for these targets. I'm not here for 10 to Dobbs and then Jacobs 5 and Watson.
So you wanted
4.
him to throw more to Malik Heath, is what
I
you're
did
saying.
actually. He was
No,
wide
come
open.
on.
If
Give
you
me a break.
remember after the
Malik
Arizona
Heath, come
game, we had said this is a notch towards Matt LaFleur's cap in which you could say, hey, he made that decision to go and win a football game on that 4th down call. And when they found Tucker Kraft, he made that decision. You have to remember that and put that as a positive. After this game, you absolutely need to remember this because this is a negative notch in his cap. That was a terrible game from Matt LaFleur. And
Yes.
Mason, like you said, they were 0 for 4 on touchdowns in the red zone until Josh Jacobs brought it up there. That can't all be on execution. That can't all be on the players for that. That is terrible play calling. If I see another screen to the outside from Matt LaFleur, I'm going to drive to Green Bay and sweet chin music him. All right.
Especially if it's not like creative, right? Like you see that, you saw what, the Chicago Bears did. You see what some of these different teams, like what they do to get creative in those red zone situations. If it's not working, have like 3 or 4 plays that it's like, we're going to do something to just mess with this team. If it doesn't work out, then we kick the field goal and we move on.
Yep.
But like do something to move them around. Don't show the same looks. Like he's like, we ran the exact same play. It was the same look.
Yep.
And they just decided to go to someone else. Like that kind of stuff needs to stop. And that's why I'm like, the hurry up, the no huddle, some of those things. But then again, you saw the one no huddle. They had to burn a timeout, and timeout was that was on 4th down, wasn't it? They had to burn a timeout. I can't believe they called a timeout and then still went for it and didn't kick a field goal.
Yep.
Like, what are you doing?
4th and 8.
Also,
kick a field goal.
Does Matt LaFleur have like a quota to Josh Jacobs? Because let's be real, that number of over 80 rushing yards, he had a big one. I don't know if he got to 20 on it, but it was somewhere in that range. Like Emmanuel Wilson runs harder this year than Josh Jacobs is running. I'm not saying he's a better running back or a better player than him, but Josh Jacobs running the football, it has not worked all season long, and Matt LaFleur refusing to go away from it. I understand you want to establish a run
17
game.
for 87 and a touchdown working?
No, that was not. You
work?
watched that game, and you can tell that was not. Again, Josh Jacobs is nowhere near where he was last year for this team, and that was a big part of their identity last year. And Matt LaFleur wants to work it
runs that worked yesterday
into their identity again this year, and I don't see it. It is not by any means. Do I feel that Josh Jacobs should have more control of a football game over Jordan Love? And Jordan Love talked about the dink and dunk football yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to, if they're going to play too high, you got to stay with the run game and find ways to, just dink and dunk the ball down the field and find ways to, if you do have an explosive and opportunity to try and take the top off, you got to hit on those. But, it just comes back to finding ways to run the ball at a high level. And maximize yards after catch on some of the shorter passes. And just keep finding completions.
And Jordan Love is not safe today either, because again, that was a awful interception, a terrible,
that was a bad choice.
Terrible choice. No reason to throw that football. But Mason, it feels like he had to try to take something into his own hands because he knows there is no creativity that goes down the field with this offense.
Well, I didn't. I haven't
that's given a lot of credit to Jordan Love. That
they showed the back though of that play, and it was like there was no one else open.
Right,
like on the one he threw up to Christian Watson.
But then
I get that you don't
over his head, right?
Yeah, I think the wind hit it. I think the wind. I think it was just the weather. So that is like what again? What the weather's going to be. That's to me also is like never an excuse. Like, well, gosh, the wind got really tough. It was affecting like what we were planning on doing. It's like, look at the weather forecast. Whatever your plan was needs to adjust. Like they were either literally checked down or trying to send everybody down the field. It's like, what happened to that intermediate route running, scrapes, different things like where you're just getting guys into good spaces. If they are running cover 2, You run in front of guys, you make their eyes go to you, and then you have underneath stuff. Like it is not that complicated. It is not that crazy. And it's just, again, run the ball, lean into Josh Jacobs. I get that, like the time that like it played right into Carolina's favor with how long those drives were. I mean, 7 drives. I think it was they said each team only had 7 possessions, which is insanely low.
Yep.
But I mean, you go and lose 16-13. I mean, there's just so many question marks there to a team like that at home. It just shouldn't happen.
414-677-1250 is the Nicolay fan talk and text line. 414-677-1250. And we have to talk about Tucker Kraft, of course.
Yeah. I knew right away. I mean, I'm sure y'all did.
Right,
it's just like
like when you go down like that, we all feared it, I think. And Mason, I mean, here's a guy who last week, finally got on the national radar after us banging the drum for him last week explodes. And it's, I don't think this makes or breaks the season, but this definitely takes the wind out of the sails.
I mean, it takes a big piece out of that offense, a dynamic piece. It's they're going to have to figure it out. They're going to have to get creative. I think the creativity has to go up. Sometimes I'm wondering what they're doing in practice. Like, is it just like run as many plays as possible and try to like have as many options in practice? Or why wouldn't you just hang your hat and like have some gimmick plays or some things that like just get teams guessing? Because I think tendencies are starting to develop, because Carolina Panthers, like they were blitzing the A gap. They were doing things where it was like they knew exactly what formation the Packers were in and how to exploit it. And that's what happened with Tucker Kraft. Guys shot the gap. He's flowing in motion to go help and block out in front, and got trapped under a couple bodies because was it Jordan Morgan that got blown back into his lap?
Yeah, that was Morgan. Yep.
We can talk about that. Jordan Morgan played a horrible game. Like, it was crazy. Him and Jenkins not on the same page. Talk about there's just so many things. Like Banks going out. I get injuries happen. Like, you can't blame him on that, but hasn't been available a ton. Hobbs not playing. So it's like you have all these guys, and you got to look at the people that were brought in, some of these draft picks, like what is going on there? Like, I'm not looking at this team right now like I was, even like last week, a few weeks ago. Like, there hasn't been a moment where I'm like, like going to Cleveland and getting beat. That was just kind of a weird one. It's like, all right, on the road. Yesterday really hurt, and they got hit in the mouth. But I will say, and again, here's my cup half full mindset, is you look across the league. It was a weird one, right? Some weird things happened yesterday. It was like games were wild. All the spreads were all messed up. Like, no one knew who to bet on in these games. Like, it just felt like it was a wild Sunday in the NFL. And sometimes you got to chalk that up as this was a wild Sunday. And this is the time of year where teams start developing and showing who they really are, what their identity is, and how they're going to play out the rest of the season. So I hope this is not the Packers' identity now. Without Tucker Kraft, we're going to have to see where they shift. But Carolina Panthers had a week to prepare after getting dominated by Buffalo, and they came out really prepared to play, knew exactly what to do against this Packers team. And the Packers looked like LaFleur on offense, for the most part, looked like he was guessing like the whole time, like just trying to like piece something together instead of saying, you will have to chase us down because we are going to go at you all day long. And that is the identity I wish this team had, with the weapons they have, with the personnel they have. You have to get pressure off that offensive line, pressure off of some of these guys, and just go at these teams and make them stop you.
Yeah. Well said.
Sorry, went after.
No, I mean, 100% feel the same way about it.
Yeah, you talked about their identity, and Josh Albrecht from Inside Wisconsin Sports had a good tweet earlier today, or yesterday, actually, after the game. He said, Packers' identity has been solidified. They play to their opponent, keep everything close, and leave no room for error. Against the Browns, it cost them, and today it cost them. Packers failed in every single category from coaching to performance. Just awful.
This is a worse loss than Cleveland, for sure.
Oh, easy.
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah, big
Not
for
even
sure.
close. Way worse loss.
And I mean, the fact that you had Detroit losing on the same day, the fact that it was at home and that it was in conference, like everything was laid out to just like escape this game and then move ahead to Philly. And now it's like 5-11-1. 5-11-1. Here we go.
But it is wild too, right? It's like, what is the NFL right now where they go and they stomp on the Steelers on Sunday night last week in the second half. Steelers go and beat the Colts, and then Packers lose to Carolina at home. It's like, what is going on in the NFL right now?
It's weird.
And I think we just have to kind of take some of that as well as like, this is a crazy competitive, wild league that like every team, it's not like baseball. It's not like every team has a week to prepare. So you have to be the better prepared, the more creative, the more interesting team every week. You can't just rest on like what you did the week before and hope you have success. You have to go game plan for the team you're playing and attack them the way it makes sense. And Carolina did that to the Packers more than the Packers did it to them.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talking text line. If you want to chime in, you can give us a call. We've got a ton on the text line. We're going to get to that next. Was this a trap game or did the Packers just suck? I don't think it was a trap game at all. I think the Packers just sucked yesterday. Like I don't think they were caught looking ahead to Philly. I just think they stunk and they played into Carolina's hands. They played into that shell defense. They were totally uncreative. They weren't patient enough. They couldn't get things going, and they also couldn't stop the run. So let's talk about the offense without Mr. Kraft there. Let's talk about the defense and why they couldn't stop the run against Rico Dowdle, who's now the best running back in the history of the NFL. Like, they should put up a statue.
He's close. He's number 3.
He should get a statue outside of Lambeau for being the best running back in
Get out
Lambeau
of
Field
here.
history.
Get out of here.
Not Packers history, Lambeau Field history.
You're out of control.
And then maybe we'll talk about the World Series a little bit. Ryan Wood will join us at 1 o'clock. We'll review our picks. Except for Mason's because he doesn't want to be here for that segment. And
trap week was
trap
real.
week.
That
Trap
was
week.
trap was real. That was trap week.
We got trapped.
And we got Mason's extra points as well. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the 5-2-1. They're still 5-2-1.
Still all right.
As of today. As of today.
Just relax.
Green Bay Packers. This is the Mason Crosby Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Follow us on all the socials at WI Sports Radio. We are live right now on YouTube and on Twitter. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Mason Crosby, wearing his Legends hat today.
Legends Club, yep.
Yeah.
It's it's fitting in a lot of different ways, I guess, but it is my golf course.
You are the non-shaven legend today. Do you feel a little bit better that like you can go because you've had to shave a lot recently? I feel like for events and stuff like that.
It's a lot of hard
little
work.
Bit better.
Yeah, I like honestly, this is like a couple days. Like it's really not much. So
yeah,
I do feel better with a little something on my face. It's I don't like it being shaved all the way down.
No, that's fair. It's a lot to take care of.
It's a lot.
It is. 414-677-1250 if you want to chime in on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. We'd love to hear from you. We've got a lot of texts coming in. But Mason, I know we want to talk specifically about Tucker Kraft and we mentioned it in the first segment. Like you kind of knew right away, right? It was basically a non-contact. He banged into a teammate. Was it Sean Ryan or somebody?
Yeah, foot stuck in the ground, and then like you just saw it kind of quick pop, and it's like, well, that's hyperextended knee or like patella or ACL. I mean,
but the way he went down,
it was season ending as soon as I saw it happen.
Luke Musgrave commenting on Tucker Kraft.
What was just your mood seeing Tucker go down the way he did?
Yeah, really unfortunate. Hoping that he's back as soon as possible. We all know what kind of player he is. So really sad. But yeah.
Yeah, that's all he has to say for it.
Well,
not that I was expecting more.
But hey, it's my opportunity. Well, now that he knows he's out for the year.
Yeah, I mean that's what he'll say this week. I feel like you can't say that like in the moment after a game, like it's my time now. Like you're just kind of feeling bad for your guy, and so this week though you need to see that confidence. Yes. I think it's like they need to see him take that step. Who is going to step up and fill that role? Like Tucker Kraft is the heartbeat of that offense. Like he's the guy that sets the tempo. Josh Jacobs, I feel like was last year. I'm not sure. It's like he again had a fine game yesterday, but I don't know if like he is that heartbeat of the offense this year, like Tucker Kraft has been. Like it's just been that physicality, that guy, the leader in that space. So he's gonna be really missed. But it is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for somebody to say, all right, it's my time. I'm going to step up. I'm not going to go outside of myself. I'm not going to go outside of my skill set. And I'm just going to be available and be really good every time I'm called on.
So what is the opportunity now for Love and for LaFleur as play caller and as quarterback? Like what do they need to do specifically this week to both rally the troops from the loss and to rally that receiver room to believe that they can get it done with Tucker Kraft not there?
Oh, yeah. I've been seeing all these things, where they're trying to compare the 2010 Packers to this 2025 team. And trust me, I did that before in my career where it's like, ooh, like my numbers are like, even just for me personally kicking, it's like you cannot recreate a season. So please stop doing that. Like just because some of these things are similar, there's probably other seasons you can look back on and there were similar situations. So I think that's the biggest thing with them too. And if you didn't listen to it, go back and listen to our interview with Coach McCarthy. Like listen to him talk last week, like just kind of filled me back up with like this, like what he was as a head coach. Yeah. And I like I said, though, I think towards the end of his time in Green Bay, he shifted away from that. But for the most part, like he was like, I just tried to get out of the way. It's like I gave him all the things, unlocked everything I could for my guys, and then just tried to get out of the way so they could go out there and play their best ball. So I implore and I hope that LaFleur can do that with Jordan Love and this offense specifically, and as a team collectively. I feel like they have this like bravado about them where it's like we're fine, we're great, we're doing all these things. They want to look really good on paper and on film, but they need to be gritty and tough and do some of those little things that unlocks all their potential. And I think that's a big step that they need to take here under Coach LaFleur.
Mason, I like what you just said there, though, that you were talking about with McCarthy, how he wanted to just get out of the way, unlock as much as he can and just get out of the way. Is that something that you guys think is, now looking at it in hindsight, a very common trait of all successful NFL teams? Because in the college ranks, right, different sport, like, it's not very uncommon for a coach to be a part of the identity of a program, right? In the NFL, like, there's great head coaches, Andy Reid, but Andy Reid gets out of the way of Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yep.
And Bill Belichick got out of the way for Tom Brady. And not to compare these teams to Green Bay, but just saying, like, looking at a blueprint of what is successful in the NFL, is that something that you think needs to happen for Green Bay?
Yeah, coach's identity should come out through and it does. It comes out through the play style and the way that they approach the game on the field, right? And like the players will show that. And if there isn't a cohesive identity, then you see tension and you see like some things that happen like they did on Sunday, right? Where it's just like, gosh, there's no rhythm, there's no flow because everyone might not be on the same page. Think about the Buffalo Bills. Yes, they haven't won anything. But what Josh Allen is, what that team, how often do you hear like Sean McDermott? Like, it's like he just like that identity is all over that team.
He gets criticized.
And that's his, but that is like he just lets their team go and hands it over to Josh Allen. Like, Jordan Love needs to be handed over the keys to this Green Bay Packers team, regardless if he's ready or not. It needs to be like, this is Jordan Love's team. This is whoever on the defense, whether it's Micah Parsons now or it's McKinney or Quay Walker, whatever, like the players need to take over the identity of this team and move it in a direction. And the coaches just need to say, like, go, dominate this thing.
So you say that about LaFleur, and I think there's an element of that. But I do wonder, are there others in the organization who also don't trust Jordan Love to truly take it over? Like, does Goody truly trust Love to take it over? And so is it more than just LaFleur not trusting Jordan Love?
You better trust Jordan Love. I mean, like,
but they clearly don't.
What's the reason not to, though? Like, why wouldn't you? Like, why wouldn't you just give him the keys and say, we've paid you $200 million. We're paying you $200 million. We trust you. We gave you the keys to this organization. Now you go and you lead this thing. I loved from Jordan Love when his guys were lined up wrong. And he's like, trying to command that, the receivers, those young guys. So that's also on them. Like, it's saying, are those guys prepared to go on the field and do it right every time? Like, so where is that disconnect? Because it's not all the time, but I think honestly, it's like, is it rough sometimes? Is it worse if it's like kind of you're always inconsistent, or it's like you're consistently bad or you're consistently good? Like, I'd rather be consistent, where it's like you're doing it one way all the time. And it's like, if it doesn't work out, all right, we fell on the sword that way. But consistently inconsistent is not a good place to be, because you just don't know when it's going to rear up and bite you in the butt.
Well, and look at what happened, right, with Dan Campbell last year, or 2 years ago when he's in the NFC Championship game, and it's living and dying by that sword of playing aggressive play calling football, right?
He's going to jump on the sword. He says, like, hey, I'm going to do it this way, and that is our identity.
I think that we are struggling to find that identity for the Green Bay Packers right now, because they seem to be the best team in the NFL with zero identity right now. I think that's a very fair statement to put on this team, because you, Mitch, have questions about Jordan Love, which I am not denying that he has made some extremely boneheaded plays over this season, and I think it's been much more limited than we've seen in years past. But I feel like what I'm watching is restriction out of Jordan Love a lot of times. And whether or not that's because Matt LaFleur feels like, hey, he hasn't earned that, or he's not ready for it, or I don't want to make it look like I have to run it through a quarterback, but it feels like ego-driven play calling sometimes, and I don't really appreciate it. And I think that's what's holding this Packers back from any sort of identifying features.
So, Mason, I have a question for you based on what Tommy just said, because I think Tommy just made a great point.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm more worried about ego-driven play calling or like inept, inconsistent play calling. Like if it's ego driven play calling, then LaFleur's got an issue. There's an issue there with LaFleur for sure. But if he just like doesn't know how to attack different defenses and is so in love with his swing passes and doesn't know what to do, that almost scares me more.
Yeah, I mean, I think that 4th and 8 call is a perfect example of just, the comment, scared money don't make money and like all those things. And Tommy referenced this like, wow, that one worked out. But like this situation did not call for you to go for it on 4th and 8 in that in a scoring situation.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
11 minutes? No.
Because you're going to have to make a decision if they didn't score again, you didn't score, like and that time's running down. If you needed 7 to tie or you needed to go for 2 to win it, if you do score a touchdown later, that was gonna, like, you had to make a decision. You needed more than 7 points to win the game. So kick a field goal there. And then go and play great defense. Yeah. And then you go and you win the game with the touchdown.
262 writes into the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. I want Watson, Golden, and Williams to get more of those routes that Kraft runs. If those guys can shake one tackle, they can get big yards, more slants, outs, etc. I feel like all I see from Golden and Watson are run really fast downfield and Savion just wide receiver screens.
Well, I think I was thinking about that too. Watson is the stretch man right now, and it's probably just as he's getting back with his ACL. Like you don't want, because where he's gotten hurt, right, is like crossing routes where he's really good at, where he's catching the ball, trying to get downfield, someone tangles him up, and that's where his injuries have been. So I assume they're just trying to get him to clear zones right now. But how they did it yesterday is they weren't clearing zones where they were forcing like those DBs to make decisions on a flat route and then a second level guy, right? Like when a cover 2, you have to run a lot of stuff where it's like you have that underneath guy where that DB is like in no man's land. He's either going to drop down on that or the depth of that second route is deep enough. Like if he comes underneath, you hit that over the top route. If he drops a little bit, that underneath route's good and you're getting 8 yards, right? So like it just felt like they weren't playing that chess match with the type of defense Carolina was playing. And then the wind played a factor yesterday. Weather does play a factor, and that is a hard thing about playing in Green Bay, Wisconsin. You have to deal with those elements. And like the recipe that the Carolina Panthers were able to execute, control the clock, run the ball, 5.2 yards a carry with Dowdle is insane against the defense that should be just dominating, stopping the run. If you look at Carolina's offensive production, that shouldn't have been a game. It should have been, that should have been a 27 to 10 type of game where it's just like nothing, like they shouldn't have been able to do what they did. So that poses, for me, the defense comes into question. And is Hafley having the weapon of Micah Parsons? Has he gotten to the point where now it's like, Micah's moving so much. He's in the middle. He's on the edge. He's all that. Like, and so you're doing more guessing on how they're going to, like, what the offense is going to do, right? Instead of, again, I'm of a mindset of you dictate to the other team what you want them to do, and then you attack them relentlessly and make them stop your best stuff all the time.
He's Mason Crosby. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. We will talk about the Packers defense when we come back, as Mason just teased. What do you want to see the Packers defense? Did they do anything wrong? They only gave up 16 points. Were they in the wrong yesterday when you look at 102 yards for the quarterback, but 130 for the starting running back for the Carolina Panthers? This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
Yep. Slapping the base.
Slapping the base. This is the Mason Crosby Show. Mason Crosby, Tommy Wirtz, Mitch Nellis here with you. Packers lose 16-13 to Carolina. Bucks lose 8-5 against the Sacramento Kings and the refs on Saturday afternoon.
Always the refs.
Toronto Blue Jays cannot finish the deal, lose the World Series. The Badgers did not lose this weekend. Hallelujah. And all sorts of college basketball coming up tonight. But Mason, I'm confused because, again, all on the list of all the accolades and all the great things and all the happinesses, one of those was the Packers swarmed to the ball and are so good against the run. And they were coming into this game.
Yeah.
And I said it last week just because we saw some holes last week. Like the first few weeks, they were flawless against the run. And then last week was, we saw some holes against Arizona, right? We saw some holes against Pittsburgh. And now we saw that now the hole just like is a gaping hole. And the Packers have the worst run defense in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, and they're healthy, right? Like other than Van Ness, or was Van Ness that big of a piece of that
Wooden
that
got
run
knocked
defense?
out. Wooden got knocked out.
But yeah, I mean
they need Howard Green. They need a Howard
They
Green.
need Howard
They
Green,
need a fat guy in the middle who plugs up the hole.
Yeah, exactly. But you can't even say I know it's like, okay, do we need, DBs, Nate Haw, whatever. I mean, Bryce Young threw for 102 yards and threw an intercept. It's like, all right, it's not that. They didn't get any sack. They got one sack for 0 yard, right? It was nothing. Yep. But they weren't getting pressure. That was Micah Parsons, I guess, worst game, right? He did not affect Bryce Young all that much, but they didn't ask Bryce Young to do a lot.
No,
either. So you have to stop that run, especially against a team like the Carolina Panthers.
I have a question that I brought up with this. How do you evaluate Jeff Hafley with this team and this personnel in 2025? Because again, this is a team that invested with Micah Parsons. They invested, maybe as a terrible investment, with Nate Hobbs, and they have two amazing athletic linebackers in the middle. They have an all-pro caliber safety. They have another edge rusher who's looking to have his best season so far as a member of the Green Bay Packers. And it feels like we are always missing something from the defense. And yesterday they even got the turnover, right? They got the interception, but it just feels like the drives are so long and they are just constant on, hey, bend, don't break. But you knew that Carolina wanted that to be the plan yesterday. They wanted it to be, hey, we are going to take everything you give us, and as long as we take 7 minutes off the clock, we don't even need points. That's totally okay.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's it's just kind of a wild. If the defense that we saw last year, creating turnovers, doing all that, with the steps that Jordan Love's made, what this offense has been able to do for the most part this season, that defense would have been awesome right now, right? Just get the ball back, get the offense more reps, more opportunities to go and make things happen. I do think it's just wearing them down week in and week out, just not getting off the field, not creating turnovers. And then these punters now are so good too. It's so if you don't create a turnover, they're switching the field. And so now we have to sustain and have long drives, try to make big plays. It just feels like the Packers aren't working ahead of the chains most of the time. They're just, they're just happy, kind of getting them off the field and doing their job. It's the splash plays are not there. A few more sacks than we probably saw last year, but you're not getting the turnovers, and turnovers are what win football games. Sacks are great at the end of the game, all those things, whenever you're trying to affect and not let a team come back, but you got to get some turnovers. And I don't know how they're going to adjust that, but they have to figure out a way to lean into what this team does well and find a way to get turnovers.
Mitch Nellis.
Yeah.
Jeff Hafley getting a head coaching job this offseason or not as of right now?
As of right now, no. But there's a lot of season left.
But as of right now, if a team wanted to go in a defensive way with a head coach, is Jeff Hafley the number one guy?
He's up for it. I don't know if he's the number one guy. Tony's in Texas. We got a couple minutes before the top of the hour. Tony, what do you got for us on the Mason Crosby Show?
Hey, yeah, Mason mentioned about the turnovers there, and it's funny when McKinney actually hit Bryce Young and fumbles, it goes right to a Carolina Panther for 6 yards.
Seriously, the one sack they get is a gain of 6.
Yeah. Hey, let's not forget, Mason. Don't get on your high horse here. You guys lost to the Redskins and the Dolphins at home. Remember that back in 2010?
I don't remember that. No, I don't remember any losses, Tony.
but it's not 2010. It's 15 years ago, Tony. We got to play.
That's why I said at the beginning, Tony. I said, everyone, relax a little bit. They're still 5-2-1. The NFL, especially right now, like more than ever, is a parity league. Everybody has an opportunity every week. You have to be the best prepared, the best. You'll have the best plan coming into these weeks, and the Packers just got beat at home.
Right, and they lost their star tight end just like you guys did. So that's going to be and that's going to be tough, man. And I think, hey, I'll leave you on this. Does this come down to basically red zone execution with the offensive line just not being good enough for a push? Because I just don't see the push and the McCarthy and LaFleur era. It's been good offensive lines that have led this team, and I just don't see it with this group.
Interesting. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah, injuries, different things. Some of the fill-in, Jordan Morgan's not taking that next step. This offensive line needs to shore up for sure if this team wants to make a push into the into the playoffs.
We're going to keep the Packers talk going. Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press Gazette, is coming up next here on the Mason Crosby Show. The Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. We're in the Wisconsin Sports Radio studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook against Ryan Wood. Carolina 16, Packers 13. I didn't see this one coming, Mace.
I didn't either. Well, trap game. We got trapped.
Trap.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
This is the Mason Crosby Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. My name is Mitch Nellis. Mason Crosby is here. Tommy Wirtz is here. There's I don't know what show is on whatever network I have on right now, but they have like 3 heads in a row. Like we have 3 heads in a row on our YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And so I looked up and I was like, wait, that's not us. I was very confused.
We're on national TV now.
What
Like this is moving fast.
I mean, we're
guys.
ready.
This is moving
We're better
fast.
than these idiots.
For sure.
Yeah, but we'll get there, Mace. This is, like I said, the Mason Crosby Show. Packers lose 16-13 to the Carolina Panthers, fall to 5-2-1. Still first place in the NFC North, but now 4th place in the NFC.
Yeah. Yes, but still, you
Right.
control your destiny, and
Yeah,
you can
that you
can
do.
get a home playoff game, all the stuff that comes with winning a division. So
Yep.
that's the ultimate goal right now, especially with a little blip in the radar. But
Exactly.
I think everything's right in front of them. But the NFC North and the NFC West, like NFC North, has to be the best division. And
I mean, the Vikings are
Like in
500 and they're in last place
in the conference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big win
exactly.
for them this weekend with JJ. JJ McCarthy's just magic. I mean, let's just
Yeah,
be
you
honest.
love
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy.
I hate JJ McCarthy. God, I would punch him in the ear right
Right
now.
in the jejunum.
Right in the ear, just like knock his balance off. Joining us now on the fan guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Green Bay Packers reporter for the Press Gazette on the USA Today network. The one, the only Bucks Pacers tonight, by the way, is Ryan Wood. Hey, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks for that intro. Bucks Pacers.
Yeah. I know you.
That'll
I know
be a
that
game
for you.
that I don't know that I'll be watching much of. We'll see
I
how
thought
that goes.
I thought that was your focus tonight. Is like none of this Matt LaFleur talking at 3:00 stuff. Locked in for Bucks Pacers.
Always. How we doing, guys?
Horrible. Every team in the NFC is just like B level. They can all beat each other on any week. Like is football stupid or is this the best? Because Mason says it's the best, and I'm not sure.
No, I'm kind of over it too, and I think I'm going to be over making picks on these games as well. So I don't like it. I love and hate football. So
yes.
Yeah. What do you think about that game yesterday, Ryan? I mean,
You
were they
mentioned
trapped?
picks. I'm just telling you now, I'm picking the Packers to beat the Eagles because this team will do the exact opposite of what you expect. I picked them to lose in Pittsburgh. They won. I picked them to smoke the Panthers. They lost. They're beating the Eagles, and guess what? They're losing to the Giants in New York the week after.
Stop. Please
Right?
stop.
I mean, there's been a lot of teams, a lot of Packers teams that I've covered where by this time of the year, you have a general sense of how it's going to go. They're going to win a lot of games. They're going to be in the mix. There's other teams. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. I have no idea what to expect from this team. This team has left me clueless. I don't know because they could go really good. I still believe in the talent, even with Tucker Kraft's torn ACL. I still believe there's a lot of talent here. There is Super Bowl winning talent here. I also believe that they don't execute like a Super Bowl team. So it doesn't matter how much talent you have. If they don't figure that out, they're not going anywhere. And we don't know if they will or not. So that's where they are. But the only thing that really mattered yesterday is Tucker Kraft's ACL. That's the only thing. Losing to the Panthers is a bad loss. No question about it. There's other games out there starting this week against Philadelphia that they can get over that. They can move on. We'll see if they will. I don't know if they will, but they can. Being still the best record in the NFC North, you'll take that. But that doesn't matter, right? It's week 10. It doesn't matter that they're the best record in the NFC North in week 10. The only thing that did matter yesterday is that injury. That is you can't emphasize enough just how big of an injury Tucker Kraft's torn ACL is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you hit it right on the head. So yeah, talk about who, obvious next man up is Luke Musgrave. Do you think he can step into any sort of role that can carry the main tight end of this Packers team, or what is the next step for this offense without Tucker Kraft?
How about the connection of these two tight ends drafted one round apart in 2023 and the reality that it was always supposed to be Luke Musgrave who became what Tucker Kraft has now become. Immediately after the draft, the Packers funneled all the first-team reps to Luke Musgrave, not Tucker Kraft. They believed in Luke Musgrave's straight-line speed, his 4.6 140, to be a game changer, a difference maker in their offense. They focused on his connection, his chemistry with a new quarterback named Jordan Love. And for the first 9 weeks of their rookie seasons, they were proven right, because by week 10 of their rookie year, Luke Musgrave, not Tucker Kraft, had 27 catches, 250 yards. He had a touchdown. By that same point in their rookie seasons, Tucker Kraft had 3 catches for 11 yards. And then Luke Musgrave goes out with a big injury. He falls on the point of a football making a catch against the Los Angeles Chargers, and he has a lacerated kidney. He misses the next 6 games. And in that same game, Tucker Kraft catches a short little check down from Jordan Love, stretches it into a 27-yard gain down the sideline. The Yak King was born. And what Tucker Kraft did was seize the opportunity that he was not getting so long as Luke Musgrave stayed healthy. And he took that and became himself an NFL star at the tight end position. Now it's Luke Musgrave that has an opportunity because of a Tucker Kraft injury. And I do think that yesterday on that game-time drive, who was it that Jordan Love was throwing to? It was Luke Musgrave with 3 catches, including a 21-yarder that sparked the drive on the first snap. Like this is a major. Tucker Kraft's the best playmaker on that Packers offense. If you listed the guys behind Jordan Love that you did not want to see this Packers offense lose, it started with Tucker Kraft. But there are other guys. There are a lot of other playmakers, including Luke Musgrave, on that offense, and ultimately it's going to be on Jordan Love as a quarterback to maximize those playmakers.
Yeah, Ryan. I mean, if you look at the stat lines, I mean, the Packers had no business like losing to a team that, quarterback for Bryce Young throws for 100 yards. Yeah, they ran the ball efficiently and all those things, but it's like you still should win that game with how the Packers offense was able to get explosives and move the ball down the field and get into the red zone multiple times. I mean, they were in the red zone 4 or 5 times and didn't come up with a ton of points. So who do you think in a game like this is kind of to blame? Is it the defense for not getting off the field faster, letting Dowdle, get off and do that? Or is it on the offense and LaFleur and, play calling, not putting the ball in the end zone or scoring points whenever those things are called upon them? Like, is there more blame to share, or is it just a collective thing?
Yeah, it's a collective thing. I think everyone has culpability. Defensively, you have a great day. All right. You should never lose a game when the opposing quarterback is 11 of 20 for 102 yards, no touchdowns, an interception. You should never lose that game in this league. And yet,
Ever.
And yet you need one more stop, and a championship level defense gets that stop. A championship level defense does not allow Rico Dowdle to run an inside zone 19 yards right up your gut. And the problematic thing is it's not the first time we've seen that from this defense. It's very, very good, but in Cleveland, 21 seconds left, they give up a game-winning field goal. In Dallas, they get off the field once after halftime, including in overtime, giving up that field goal that forced the tie. And now they have a chance to make another stop with the game on the line to keep it tied to go to overtime at home, and they can't make the stop. Championship level defenses make those stops. So I think it's very clear this Packers defense, while very good, while a lot of talent, they are still searching on how to get to that next level because they're not there right now. And then offensively, way too many empty possessions. And it sure seemed like Packers offense got desperate as the game went on and started playing outside themselves instead of just staying at a consistent, steady pace, believing in your talent, believing that if you make the right plays, make the right decisions, don't go for it on 4th and 8, your talent's going to win over. No, they start chucking down the middle of the field in triple coverage. So the one thing I'm not going to do is call this a trap game. I know it looks like a trap game with the Eagles coming up. I think it's much worse than that. I think that Matt LaFleur was as transparent and honest as you can ever hear a head coach after a loss like that when he said the Carolina Panthers played the game exactly how they knew they needed to play to win the game. They played keep away with their run game, which the Packers, that might be an Achilles heel on that defense now. They did not give up any explosives. They were playing that soft two shell against the Packers offense, Jordan Love, all day, making the Packers be methodical, being disciplined, and execute instead of just relying on a chuck gain. That's the blueprint on offense and defense that every team's going to attack this group with. Can they do something about it? It's the question. That's going to define their season.
Yeah, and like you said, without Tucker Kraft, without Jaden Reed on the field, now Matthew Golden, who knows what's going to you got Christian Watson that is just, flying down the field, but he's that option. I mean, like whenever Jordan threw that interception, he was triple covered, right? So it's like, what is that next step? Who's going to be that spark plug? And is there enough speed and like kind of electric playmaker ability on that offense without some of those weapons if they're not available this week? So it does concern me going against the Eagles here. Talking about kind of what the NFC North is, the parity in this division. I mean, the Vikings go and beat the Lions. The Bears in a barn burner against the Bengals find a way. They're 5-3, which is unbelievable, like wild to imagine. This NFC North is going to come down to the wire, right? I mean, they're not going to play an NFC North team till Thanksgiving Day against the Lions in Detroit. So what do you give them? Like, what odds do you give this team of like being in a good position towards the end of the season to actually have a chance to win this division?
Yeah, Mason, before we get to that, to answer your question about what's the answer going to be with that offense, as they start to move on now with life after Tucker Kraft, I think priority number one is getting back to what the blueprint was last year. Their identity on offense last year was Josh Jacobs in that power run game. They had a feel that most Packers offenses in recent history have not had, where they could take that run game into anywhere, anytime, against anyone, and just run it at you and just beat you up. And we saw that at the start. You want to talk NFC North? We saw that type of physicality week one against the Detroit Lions, but it hasn't been near what it was last year, and they're going to need that run game without Tucker Kraft. Jordan Love's got a lot of weapons around him, but they're still going to need that run game to be the bedrock of what they do offensively. And if they can't get that back to where it was a year ago, it's going to be really tough sledding. So that's where I start. As far as the division goes, it could be worse. It could be the NFC West. I mean, the NFC West, it looks like it has three premium contenders in that division. I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, they're just going to cannibalize each other. It's going to be fascinating to see how that shakes out. But the NFC North has a higher floor. I mean, the Chicago Bears are fringe playoffy, right? I mean, you have to start thinking about, can they sneak in? The Minnesota Vikings showed yesterday that they can go into Detroit, so you can't take them lightly. Any team that can go into Detroit and win is a team to be reckoned with. Obviously, the Lions are the Lions. The Packers still have that lead in the division. I think the missed opportunity yesterday is they could have gone up 2 games. Could have had a little bit of cushion there at the midway point, and now it's going to be a dogfight. The Packers entered after what they did last year, 1-5 in the division. They entered this season with the number one priority being win your division games. They're going to have them backloaded on this schedule. That's still the number one priority. They've got to win in the division, or this season's not going to go anywhere.
So we got Ryan Wood on the Mason Crosby show, as he is every Monday, sometimes Tuesday if he's at a late night, out there.
Sometimes every day.
Doing his thing. But Green Bay Press Gazette at Ryan Wood. I got to go back to what you said about last year, and we talked about this a little bit before you came on, where, they were getting turnovers at a high clip, right? And so the offense controlling the ball was actually like, it was beneficial because they get the ball back multiple times, and they could let's just control that clock. We'll decide what we're going to do with the ball. This year, I feel like without the defense getting turnovers, that offense has to have a mindset of, we need to get a lead and unleash our defense in their strengths on these offenses. Playing those games like they did against Carolina, like they did against the Cleveland Browns, are not good for this football team. You have to run at teams, go at teams, try to score fast, early, and often, and then make those teams try to come back on you with that type of defense that they have. If they can't start creating turnovers, that's the only way this team is going to have success and get down to the playoffs. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, it's interesting with playing with the lead. This team's built for that. I asked Xavier McKinney about the run defense yesterday at his locker, and Rico Dowdle's the first 100-yard rusher this defense has allowed all season. And so I asked him what was different about this, right? Because they hadn't done that. And he said, there's been things, small things. He, of course, wouldn't share details, but small things have been percolating that they've needed to address with the run defense before playing the Panthers that they haven't gotten addressed. And when you're winning games, when you're not giving up a lot of yards on the ground, it's easy to maybe skim over those things. And then it's still a problem. Then Rico Dowdle comes in and he runs for $130 on you. So what could that be? Well, the first 5 games of the season, every single game, they had a double-digit lead before allowing a single point. Nothing takes care of the run defense like that. You just take the run game out of it when you have a double-digit lead before giving up a point. And so you look at their 3 games that they haven't won this year, the run game was a problem in all 3. Quinshon Judkins, 18 carries, 94 yards in Cleveland. That was a loss. The next week, Javonte Williams, 84 yards in Dallas. Obviously, Dak Prescott balled out in that game, but he had a run game with him. And then yesterday with Rico Dowdle going to $130, those are the 3 games they haven't won. Like that run defense is something that they're going to have to absolutely take care of and make sure that those little things do get addressed. And it's easy to say that, especially this week with Saquon Barkley coming down.
Ryan Wood joining us here on Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Ryan, how you just mentioned it, with Saquon Barkley coming, how quickly does Matt LaFleur, how quickly do they turn the page from this? Like, do they really dive into this and figure out how to fix things? Or do they just do they burn the tape and just move on to the next because this was so ugly?
I'm not even just pulling something out of left field here. I really do think the Packers are going to beat the Eagles on Monday night inside their home stadium.
I do too.
This is such – everyone says it. It's a cliche. Oh, the NFL is a week-to-week league. Everyone says that. So why are we then surprised when on a week-to-week basis any number of things happen, right? Look at the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday. A week before, they looked terrible in the second half at home defensively against Jordan Love, against this Packers offense. A week later, they kicked the crap out of the Colts defensively, right? Same stadium. Like, it's a week-to-week league. These things don't transfer from week to week. I think that it's just flush it and learn from it and get better. Because I still, at the end of the day, believe in the talent. Now, the NFC as a whole, it's a wide-open conference. There's 7 teams in this conference. 3 of them, the NFC West, the Lions, the Packers, the Bucks, the Eagles. There's 7 teams that could go to the Super Bowl this year. I don't think we'll know until mid-December. One of those teams is going to get hot, and that's going to be the conference representative at the Super Bowl. We're not going to know that. So you just have to keep plugging away. You have to fix the errors. All these teams have blemishes. The Packers are not the only one. The Vikings went in Detroit and won yesterday. The Lions, that's a bad loss for the Lions. That's an even worse loss because it's a division game at home than what the Packers did against the Panthers. That's not to excuse that. That's the league. That's what happens in this league. This is an opportunity this week to win a huge game, to go to 6-2-1, to beat a fellow contender, and to get back on the right track. It's early November. We're not handing anything out right now. You just got to get better.
Yeah, I totally agree. I look at this team and I'm just wondering, we're talking about built to have a lead. Is there a space with this team where it's just go out guns blazing to start every game, a lot more tempo, no huddle, just go at teams? I would love to see that on a more regular basis, not just when you have to, not whenever it's all right, we're running out of time, start games that way. I loved whenever the Aaron and McCarthy era, whenever we were doing a lot of mixing in no huddle throughout courses of games, especially early on. We had a lot of success with that. Second half of the game yesterday, when they needed a drive, Jordan Love goes no huddle, takes them down, scores a touchdown. Do you think that is something that I know LaFleur is hesitant. He likes plotting along and getting his plays in and getting everybody set and where they need to be. But what do you think about them going no huddle early? Does he not like to do it because of Jordan Love? Does he not trust them to do what they need to do? Or what do you think the reason is there?
Yeah, it's tough to go with the no huddle when you're as multiple in your personnel as the Packers offense is. I mean, every snap they're trotting guys in different looks on and off the sideline. That doesn't mesh well with the no huddle, obviously. But starting hot, like starting fast, I think they did that yesterday. Their very first possession, they get the stop. Their very first possession, they march it into the red zone, and then Savion Williams has a fumble. Right? They don't execute a screen, and that's the issue with this offense is when you are stringing together 9, 10, 11 play drives, it can't end without points. It can't end without the end zone. Like you have to finish drives. I don't know if that means more Josh Jacobs, even more Josh Jacobs in the red zone. Like if you were inside the 20, calf or not, you don't take Josh Jacobs off the field because he is their red zone engine. Like 5 straight games now, another streak of rushing touchdowns, 10 on the year. But you have to figure out a way to finish these drives. It's not like they weren't sustaining drives. They sustained drives up all 4 quarters against the Panthers. They didn't finish them. So you just got to.
And they only had 7, right?
Out.
So, yeah.
Ryan, trade deadline tomorrow. Anything going to happen in Green Bay?
Ooh. A week ago, I would have said I doubt it. I wonder about cornerback, but the problem there is that no other teams are giving up quality corners at the trade deadline without a king's ransom. And I don't see the Packers giving up a king's ransom. Now, what do you do at tight end? What's really interesting about the tight end position, obviously they're down to 2 healthy bodies now, is a week before you activate Christian Watson off PUP. You need a roster spot. And you're not going to let go of Lucas Haversek, which, Mason, I'm curious your thoughts on this. But at this point, I can't imagine a world in which Lucas Haversek's not on the roster in a week. Like, not saying that he's the kicker against the Eagles, but with what's going on with Brandon McManus, you want to at least, I think, have that option, right? So they didn't want to get rid of Lucas Haversek. Who do they release? A young tight end who's clearly in demand, Ben Sims, and he's in demand because he gets claimed by the Minnesota Vikings, who the Packers once stole from the Minnesota Vikings. He started his career there. So, boy, what a difference a week makes, because I'm not saying Ben Sims isn't going to be wouldn't have been the savior of this offense. He's not replicating Tucker Kraft, but he's a talented guy. He's in demand in the league. He's got athletic ability. He's got pass catching ability that we've seen in the past. There would have been an opportunity here now, obviously, in a way that with Tucker Kraft, the tight end positions covered. You understand why they released Ben Sims, but now you have 2 healthy bodies. I mean, that's what are they going to do at tight end? Is there a trade to be made at the deadline? I don't know, but that's absolutely something from a body standpoint they're going to have to figure out this week.
Very interesting. Yeah. That's you never plan. Like you always kind of try to hedge against injuries, but in that situation, you never think that's going to be the case. So it's going to be an interesting week. I'm excited for Monday night. We'll see if anything happens. Yeah, they're going to look at the film. They're going to really evaluate here, and they get an extra day, which can be good, can be bad, but they're going to have an extra day to really dive into what happened on Sunday and then how they're going to attack this Eagles team come Monday night. So I'm excited for it. I appreciate you, Ryan.
Hey, take care, guys.
All right, Ryan, thanks so much. That's Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press Gazette and USA Today Network, joining us here on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. With the trade deadline tomorrow, that's interesting because so few trades happen. Obviously, we saw Jair Alexander traded to the Eagles. The Eagles also traded.
The Eagles
today.
are making moves.
Yeah, they traded for a linebacker from the Dolphins. I don't know who's on the Dolphins,
but
I feel like
great trade.
Right,
Phillips.
Yeah, but I feel like there's got to be like guys. If the Packers were really interested, like I feel like the Dolphins are just giving guys up, for pennies on the dollar at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
They're probably just gonna. I mean, they're getting relegated, so like, what do they care?
They should be.
Right? Am I wrong?
Here comes Georgia.
Yeah, we're going to go through our picks when we come back. Also touch on an amazing Game 7 World Series that we have to recap a little bit. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. What?
What was that?
What's going on?
Did you just honk at the end of that right there?
Don't worry about what I did, okay? Don't worry about it. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. I got my Verizon phone right here. I'm going into the Verizon store today. Just get a little work done. Check out my account. And
you just like to go in there and hang out?
I just like to hang out with Mo. Mo's my guy. I pay sure. Just like to hang out with Mo.
You go to the Verizon store more than anyone I've ever met.
I mean, that's my people.
But I love it. Like, that's great.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mason, already looking at next week's matchups. I don't know why I'm looking ahead to next week. The Bucks play tonight and tomorrow. There's Monday Night Football. There's stuff going on. We got the Tom Brady Bowl next Sunday. Patriots Buccaneers. It's a good matchup. Sunday noon game.
Yeah.
I told
that's going to be a tough one. I mean, obviously we know.
What do you got, a soccer tournament in Kentucky to go to or something?
No, I'll be watching.
I was telling Mitch, I was like, I don't know if the kids these days know Tom Brady even as a Patriot. They probably just think he is a Buccaneer.
Right, exactly.
They probably think him as a Raider.
They'll probably think of it, as a Raiders owner.
Raider owner, exactly.
And a broadcaster.
And a broadcaster.
They don't even know.
Right. He didn't even play for the Patriots in anyone's memory at this point anymore.
Miles Turner goes back home tonight.
Yeah.
Bucks of Pacers.
Yeah.
God, Pacers are awful.
They're terrible. And everybody's hurt too.
Is he getting a tribute video?
Yes, he's got to. 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Right. Just wondering.
99.9, just in case John Halliburton's in charge. Then he doesn't. But as long as John's not in charge, he gets a video.
As long as he's not,
John,
doesn't have any
freaking dink. Sorry, that's how I feel about him.
Should we go over our picks?
Yeah. Let's.
I'm just gonna take a break for this segment.
So, look, well, we do.
I think I'm relinquishing my my pick calling from now on.
Nolan,
I'm gonna get somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a lot of good insight, and I'm good in like the planning phases, and then my picks are horrible. So maybe I just need to get somebody else to make my picks for me.
Don't you have 5? You have 5 children, and you should have your 5 children and your wife pick your game
next week. That's going to be my thing. If they do better than I'd have the last few.
I love it.
6 picks. You have your 5 children and your wife pick a game this week.
We all lost the Lions. Throw that one out.
Yeah, and the Packers. We all lost the Packers.
That one. Right. So we all start 0-2.
I think I had one. I think I had the Bills.
You did have the Bills. I was the only guy drinking Chiefs Kool-Aid on that one. The Bears, Mason Crosby, I thought you had it. I thought you had it.
That was so close.
That was so
There were a lot of hurts. I mean, Vandy came back. I mean, I was literally on the cusp of a good week.
Yeah.
And then it just went down the drain.
Yeah, so. It was the cusp of a good week is like the theme for me and Mr.
Our
Mason
solo
Crosby.
Games were all bad, weren't they?
I had Jags -3. They win by 1 in overtime.
Right.
Cam Little, though, shout out to Cam Little.
We didn't talk about that.
Everyone upset that his 70-yarder doesn't count. No big deal. Hit a 68-yarder in the regular season. Yeah, he needed it. He earned it. Pats are 5.5-point favorites. They only won by 1. And then the KC Buffalo over. Mitch Nellis was heated about that this morning.
They had 34 points at halftime. These are teams that score more in the second half than in the first half. They scored 15 total points in the second half. What the hell happened?
I don't know.
So stupid.
The Texas Vandy one hurts the most for me because I heard a tip that was just the most spot of spots for Texas to show out because Texas hadn't played at home since September 22nd, and Vanderbilt hadn't played on the road since October 4th. And then the line moves.
Mitch knew it.
The line moves to 3.5 on Saturday, and we got it at 2.5, and then they lose by 3 on a comeback cover.
How about that? How about the one? How about the play that they gave him the 2-point conversion?
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't even close. I mean, it's down the line, and he misses the pylon and never gets like who had money? Who's responsible for that?
Yeah. Diego Pavia, he cares about your money unless you bet on him early. Bet on him day of, and he will get your money.
Good point.
So, Mitch Nellis, you had picked the Bears, the Bills, and Texas successfully. You went 3-3, and Trap Week was in full force on Tommy and Mason. As both of us went 1-5.
New leader.
Third place, Mason Crosby, 22 and 27. Tommy, 24 and 25. Mitch Nellis, 25 and 24.
New leader.
Atop of this. It's almost like this is how gambling goes. It's all we're picking 50-50s every single day.
All right. Let's get to that World Series, Mason.
Yeah.
Because that was unbelievable Saturday night. My heart is still broken for Toronto. I feel so badly for like their fans and for some of their players. But
do you think they get a new wall? Like
just move it in.
Just have like it raised up at the bottom so the ball doesn't get trapped
the ball
underneath.
Can't get stuck. I hate that rule. I tweeted it out right away.
That makes me so mad. I really like baseball, and that makes me really upset about baseball. I get it
if it's lost in the ivy at Wrigley.
Sure.
But when you can see it and literally
went to grab it and then was like, wait, like it's like it wasn't like gone. I mean, it was right there.
How about ball finds the new man to the fullest extent of Game 7 of the World Series. Andy Pajes gets put in the game and then obliterates Kike Hernandez so he can catch that ball.
Make that catch.
And save the game.
That was crazy.
That was
nuts.
That was unreal. I thought Dalton Varsho, that would have been the coolest scenario for
UWM
Wisconsin.
zone. UWM zone. Marshfield, Wisconsin's own.
Oh, man.
Dalton Varsho, Northwoods Leaguer as well. Shout out.
Shout out.
Also had the chance with the bases loaded. And then Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, thank God they subbed him in for his speed so he could get thrown out as well.
Apparently it wasn't his fault. Apparently the third base coach, the way they were playing is
held him a little bit.
They didn't want to get him doubled off in case of a line drive because the infield was in. But I was just going through some of the advanced metrics. He had one of the shortest leads of the season of anyone on third base.
He was like 2 steps off.
But his speed to home was top 10%. So he made it there. And then the other question there, Mason, this is a great question for baseball.
If he doesn't slide, right?
Right. If he doesn't slide, does he get there?
Question.
Yeah. Because, I think he assumed because it was hit hard at the second baseman that he was going to be out by a good step. And so the slide, he's just used to sliding. I don't think he was thinking.
Was it Will Smith? His foot came off.
His foot came off,
right? So
it was close.
Was,
I mean, everything that happened was nuts.
It was a great series. It ended up being.
And then for Kirk, I feel so bad for that double play at the end. All you need is a fly ball and a sac fly, and at least the game keeps going.
Yeah.
You don't win the game, but you can tie the game. And it's
and then what about the Will Smith stat? He's been on the last 6?
Well, no, someone named Will Smith.
Someone named Will Smith.
Someone named.
I see what there's two different. Will
I didn't read
Smiths.
the whole thing. I'm really bad at that. I don't always read the whole rundown. I just see something there it is.
He actually was on the Brewers for a little while.
Yeah,
lefty reliever for the Braves when they won the title.
So Will Smith has been on
the Rangers. Awesome. The Rangers when they won the title,
and he was on. So it was Dodgers, Will Smith in 2020, which started it, but then it went to 21 Braves.
Yep.
And then who won it in 22?
Was that the Rangers or was 23?
23 is the Rangers.
Okay.
24 Dodgers, 25 Dodgers,
right.
and it's escaping me who won the World Series in 2022.
Was that was Astros, the Nationals?
It was the Astros. Yeah, the Astros.
The cheating Astros.
That was in 17.
I know, but they're there forever.
Forever
the cheating Astros.
Once you cheat once, you've cheated. Yeah,
you're telling me they weren't cheating in 22.
If you have a guy named Will Smith on your team, you have a significantly better chance to win the World Series.
As long as Chris Rock is not on your team.
Yeah. Did Brad Paisley sing the national anthem of Game 7?
No, but they thought about at the 10th inning, having a break and singing it then, and just seeing just do it again.
Then they would have sang "Oh Canada" at the time, and I don't know if Paisley knows that one. So that game was awesome, and I said it when I was with Charlie, the most likable player on the Los Angeles Dodgers from just a human standpoint feels like it is Miguel Rojas. And
he had know anything about
the biggest hit of his life in the 9th inning as well. And he makes the play in the bottom of the 9th inning at second base to throw him out at home. So Yamamoto getting the MVP was cool. But Miguel Rojas, he's the MVP of Game 7, obviously. Yamamoto pitching 95 pitches in Game 6 and then still available for Game 7. Just a different breed coming over from Japan right now.
Yamamoto is an absolute stud. I still think Freddie Freeman's probably the most likable human on the team, but Rojas is And how about that necklace he wears? That's a nice looking necklace. My daughter was like,
You like
ooh,
that?
that's a fancy necklace.
They all wear nice necklaces
I know.
now. Yeah, even if you're on the bench at Green Bay, you get a big chain now,
That's
right,
true.
Mason?
That's
Yeah.
true. Maybe they got to stop worrying so much about how they're looking and just focus on.
By the way,
ball a little
Mo
bit.
at Bayshore is getting love on
Yeah, he
the
is. I saw
Nicolay Law text
Let's go.
line. That at Bayshore, is that Mo-licious? Has he been with the company for like 20 plus years? Man, I got nothing but love by Mo. It is Mo. I just looked it up. I haven't seen dude in years, but we used to kick it at the Encore back in the day. I love that, man. Give him some love. Mo's the you know what. The
Man,
ish.
Mo is
Wow. It's like I did not know Mo was getting love on the
Heck
text line
yeah.
today. But I as well will go see Mo.
Just
and
go
I'm
over to
excited
the
about
Verizon at Bayshore Verizon and just hang out
And
with
then
Mo.
Mason,
He's a legend.
Before we get to extra points, I don't know how much you followed the Bucks game on Saturday, but the referees just absolutely discriminated against Giannis and the Bucks. And there's like a national there's an undercurrent of some national writers, not the ones who hate Giannis and the Bucks, but the ones who are saying that like because Giannis doesn't flop and doesn't go down, teams have been extra physical with him this year, and he's not getting calls.
Wow.
Get a rebound.
Yeah, I don't know.
He did get the rebound. Tommy, he literally got the rebound.
Get a rebound for the last 5 minutes of the game.
I know, but
Sabonis won the game.
He got the rebound that he needed to at the end of the game. Got
Sabonis
hacked,
is
no
smallest
call.
guy. That's
he beat the
big
Bucks.
Sabonis is
man.
a stud.
He beat the
Sabonis
Bucks.
is great. I actually
But
really
talk
love
about
his
he's
game.
that kind of gritty grinder. Like he's just going to kind of scrap around. It's almost like the Jokic and like where it's like it doesn't always look good, but they're just going to get it done, right?
There's some more.
I don't like that. Like were the refs like making no calls or bad calls, or was it just like you want Giannis to flop more?
It was
like
I don't know. It was brutal. It was awful.
Like we can't hate soccer and then call for people to flop on the field.
That's
or
great.
on the court. So
That's
don't do
exactly
that.
right. All right, Mace, we gotta get to your extra points. What do you say?
Sure. I
Is
don't
it-
know if I have any more. I talked a lot in that first hour.
Whoa,
I'm like,
relax. We
I don't
know.
have any more extra points
Hey,
to give.
I don't know. It's a pretty big day in the Crosby
It is a big
household.
day.
Yeah,
We're
all
just
right, we'll
we're
get
gonna
there.
give some shout outs, some celebration.
Exactly. That's extra points. Let's go.
All right.
He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis. Tommy Wirtz is here as well. The Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, not just the Bayshore store, but definitely the Bayshore store, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
That's right.
What's up, Mo? Not a trap game.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today?
Now I'm thinking.
It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis.
Tell me what's on your mind.
On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right, everybody. Hey, we had a great show on the Mason Crosby Show right here at the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Unlike the Packers' little trap that they got caught
Man,
into
I hate
yesterday.
The Packers.
You hate getting
I
trapped?
hate football.
No trappies?
It wasn't a trap game. They just stink.
They stunk yesterday. They did not play well yesterday.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you. They
Yes.
don't stink. They stunk yesterday.
Recency bias. Let's look at it from that point of view. Big day today. It's Molly
Happy
Crosby's birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
So she came in the middle of the show and was not happy with something I had done, not knowing what the situation was. One of our cars had I think she was on the highway, tire blew out, hit something. So we got to take it in this week. And so I was like, hey, I'm going to get her like a fun rental for the week. And it's her birthday week. So it's like, let's do that. So I got her a vehicle, a rental, and she sees it. And she came up and thought like I had gone and
bought a car.
a car. And she was like,
I love
what are you doing? During the 1 o'clock break, we had to go sort it out. We're all good now. Everything's good. It's going to be a fun week.
That's great.
Yeah, full week of festivities. Awesome. Tonight is my 8-year-old girl, 8-year-old girl basketball coaching debut.
Here we go. Let's go.
Yeah, so wish me luck with that. It's going to be epic. Christine's
attack mode.
Oh yeah, we're just attacking. I'm like, if we're not going to win, we're going to be the most physical team on the court. That's for sure.
It's like semi-pro where it's like, look at the eyes, look at the eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah, what do you got? What do you got?
The mascara. It's like, you didn't get waterproof. It's just bleeding into their eyes.
Wow.
Oh, my girls, we're gonna get after it. It's gonna be so much fun. Christine's just been shooting. She's ready to go. I love it. She's like, whatever you need me to do, Dad, I'm ready. And I'm like, oh,
amazing.
heck yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna ball.
Sounds like a Crosby ball player.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah,
exactly. The Crosby's ball.
Team first.
Yep.
Like dub is the only stat that matters
is.
at the
Yeah,
end.
exactly.
So
Love it.
Again,
that
if we
through
don't
their
win
brain.
in the points, we're gonna win in some category.
Yeah.
We will win in some category. Fouls, steals, like we're gonna win something. It might not be with the points, but we're gonna find a way to enforce our will.
How's the team?
I don't know yet. I mean, I know names. I know some of Christine's friends that are on the team, but don't know talent. You know, that's gonna be literally first question. Just like who's played organized basketball before?
Has anybody shot a basketball at a hoop before?
We're going to go simple tonight. Just a lot of, some dribbling, some shooting, passing, and then just, like slow it down, get into positions, just like, all right, where do we stand on the court? And so it's going to be fun. These girls are excited. I can't wait to, just tell some stories from what these 7 and 8-year-old little girls talk about tonight.
if you win a championship, how do you recognize ChatGPT in your acceptance speech?
Exactly. I know. I already got the rundown. I don't know. ChatGPT will actually probably write my acceptance speech for me. So we'll just find a way to I did that one time. I was like, hey, I don't want it to be thought that it's my word. So can you put your acknowledgement in there? And they're like, oh, sure thing. And so they said, with help from ChatGPT, Mason put this out there.
Wisconsin Sports Hall of Fame speech.
Exactly.
It's just nothing off the zone.
All right, Mace, we got Bucks and Pacers tonight at 6, and then at 7 o'clock, we've got all 4 of our state D1 basketball programs in action.
Right.
Campbell is at number 24, Wisconsin. UW Green Bay at number 19, Kansas. Albany at Marquette, and Hampton at UWM.
Okay, so Marquette's not ranked? Are they not expected to be as good this year?
Marquette is not expected to be as good this year. That is correct.
All right.
We'll see.
But sometimes they're on. You get a little underrated.
When is the Marquette Wisconsin game? When's the milk jug?
Usually that's in November.
It's usually the first weekend of December.
Okay, when do we start our proposal for the milk jug? Or do we just create our own and then you just show up with it? Like
that's not. You know what? Let's talk. Let's talk about that this week.
Get Mark Cass on the phone.
Cass and Lammy, they can get that done. We've got Arizona Cardinals at the Dallas Cowboys. Do either of these teams play any defense? Like this could be a high scoring affair.
It's going to be a barn burner. Yes. If you have any of your, fantasy things going, pick all the yards, all the points, all the things for all the offensive players on these teams. I mean, it could get crazy. I saw a stat. It was like they're projecting Ryland or whatever his name is for the Cardinals to have, 1.5 to 2 field goals. Like that's like the over under, which seems wild in a game like that. Yeah. Just hit that over.
Do you what odds would you put against the Packers making a deal tomorrow? Tomorrow is the NFL trade deadline. Is there any way the Packers make a trade?
I do think there's a way. I think there's going to be a move. I think they'll make some sort of move. I don't think it's going to be anything splashy or crazy, but I think we'll see some roster moves.
Okay.
If it's not a trade, like they go poach someone off the practice squad or do something like
Mercedes
that.
Lewis is.
I don't think they're going to give up anything. He's on a practice squad. Bring him in. Let's go.
There you go.
Thoughts and prayers, Jaden Daniels. By the way,
oh my gosh, that elbow. Oh,
elbows don't go that way.
No, that was brutal. I did not want to see that.
Happy birthday, Molly Crosby.
Happy birthday. Woo! Let's go. What a great Monday.
Yes.
For us, not for
the
Packers people.
He's Mason Crosby. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. We are the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, sir.
I was